Today I'm doing my first solo wild camp and I'm at Errol's Seat. It was about a 3-hour hike from the Glencoyne distillery. My name's Adam, by the way. Let's just pause and go all the way from the beginning. So, I've literally climbed this is it so far, right, all the way down there. It's as far as I've come. It's stunning, don't get me wrong, but tiring. It's quite peaceful up here, to be honest. Really, really quiet. And the people that I've just met have been lovely. The trek up's been quite a difficult one, especially with the beating in sun, because there's no shade. No shade unless the clouds go over the sun, but other than that, it's been slow and fun. You can see Ben Lomond from here as well. The hike up, despite coming with probably the heaviest tent known to man, has been pretty nice. The point that I find myself at is a marsh. Very, very marshy. And up there, and straight ahead is Errol's Seat, which is the place that I'm planning on going. The most enjoyable thing I'm finding about being out is just the quiet, really. Today I'm doing my first solo wild camp and I'm at Errol's Seat. It was about a 3-hour hike from the Glencoyne distillery. It's really peaceful, it's really calm. I think it's quite nice. I've got the tent out, the biggest tent known to man, as I said earlier. Just to make that a little bit worse, the lighter tent that I have arrived while I was hiking. It arrived at the house while I was hiking, and I even got an email about it, which was a nice rub in the face. It was just good to know that the tent that was half the weight, more than half the weight of the tent that I've got, is sitting in the house. The one that I've got, the tent that I'm using, is the Van Gogh Sigma 200. It's just an old tent that I've borrowed. It weighs 4.6 kilograms, so not ideal, but I'm making do, and on my next trip I'll have a lighter tent, hopefully, given that there's no holes or anything in it. But I'm going to get set up, get the tent put up, chill out. Home sweet home. the last camping trip that me and my girlfriend went on, we found 2 ticks. One of them was on one of our food containers, and then the one that I found was on my ring finger, and it hadn't bitten yet, and I think it was probably 5 seconds away from biting me, and the thing was huge. It was the biggest tick I've ever seen, so I'm very wary of them, and I'm very underprepared because smart me never brought tweezers, which is a great idea to go camping with, but yeah. So this tent also has an inner, so it's an inner and an outer, and I just pitched them at the same time. I've just got them attached. You can see the point up here. I've got it attached. It is a really decent tent. It's just far too heavy for one person to be carrying, because that's a vast majority of the weight that was on my back was the tent. So I've not done a very smart thing. I've pitched the tent on a slope slightly, tiny little bit, so I'm going to wake up and probably be down here, fully set up inside. There's my little window. I'm just doing a tick shake, make sure there's no ticks on anything. And when I wake up in the morning, the view that I'm going to have is going to be Ben Lomond, straight ahead. After setting up camp, I spent some time relaxing and chilling out. The weather could not have been in my favour anymore today, not one bit. It's mid-September, and look at it. I'm going to get the sleeping mat put down and my sleeping bag. So this sleeping mat has a pillow built into it. I've heard that there's better options than that, but honestly it was just for the convenience, and it was cheap. It was only $14.99, so I'm not complaining. Sleeping mat all done, and then the sleeping bag, I've already brought that out its bag. Throw that up there. Just going to leave it closed for now. And look at that view, my god. I'm going to wake up to this in the morning. Home for the night. Pretty warm in here as well. I fancy my dinner though. Right, after setting that up, I'm going to put my only lamp, which is a bike light. I'm going to hook that to the lantern hook, and that'll be my only source of light. So now I'm going to have my dinner and chill, and then I'm going to take photos. I really want to get a nice time lapse of this sunset. Don't know if I'm seeing a wee body of water over there, that's quite nice. Yeah. Tonight's dinner is beans, baked beans and homemade chicken jerky. I don't have a gas cooker with me, so I'm eating cold, and I decided beans and this, which is amazing by the way, I don't know how I made it, but is the choice. So, and then water. I've not tried the jerky with the beans yet. I'm going to do something I've wanted to do the whole time I've been here because it's so quiet. And that thing is... That's very, very loud. After letting my shoes dry, I was ready to take some photos. So in terms of the photos I'm doing tonight, I first of all want to do some more landscapes because I've done some today, but in a couple of minutes I want to do some more. And the next thing I want to do is a time lapse / composite of the sun going down. So essentially I want a fade from the sun high in the sky down to its over the horizon colours. It could be orange or red or whatever. I'm not really sure what I'm going to get tonight. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also going to be doing a light painting of Errol's seat and maybe a light painting of one of these fences. Maybe the fence down here. There was a spot that I thought was really nice for a light painting, but it's a little bit far from here, and I have set up, so it might be on the board, but I'm not entirely sure. And on top of that, I think I'm going to do a little composite or long exposure shot, I'm not entirely sure, of the tent with a light in it, and I'm just going to light up the whole tent. About 2 weeks before this trip, I had a realisation. I realised that procrastination was ruling my life. I soon decided though that I wanted to change that. I decided that I would just start doing. Regardless of what it was, I would do things. I thought a lot about that and why I was at Errol's seat while I was capturing the sunset. It was the perfect place to just be in my own thoughts. It was so quiet. So, after a long night of watching the stars and taking photos, it's bedtime. First things first, I need to clean up this tent. It is a mess. After a long day of taking photos and hiking, I was ready to hit the mat. So, I've just woken up. It's, I think, 6. Check. I was going to be getting up at 6:15, but yeah, I ended up waking up at 10 to 6, and I've just took about 20 minutes to get ready, get myself sorted to come out. And first light is meant to be in a minute from now, so it's beautiful though. The sleep was rough. Sleep was really rough because I pitched the tent on a slope, but you can see out in the valley and out where the windmills are. There you go. You can see all the clouds have laid. It's stunning. There's the moon that we had last night. It lit up the full landscape practically the whole night. I woke up at about 4:45 in the morning and I could see the moon through the tent. I could just see the glare of it. Stunning. Got the sun coming up now. After a night of cold, uncomfortable sleep and waking up a handful of times at the bottom of the tent, I couldn't wait to feel the heat of the sun. breakfast what I'm having is a tuna mayo wrap. I brought 2 wraps because I was going to make a honey and peanut butter wrap, but I didn't have anywhere to put the honey or peanut butter, so I just brought the wrap. I don't know if I'll make 2. I'll try and make 2. More calories, more energy. That one strip of dark chocolate that's in there, I'm absolutely delighted with that. And I've got little mayo sachets. Obviously all of the rubbish that I've got is going to be going in a bag and coming with me. And any wipes, any toilet roll, anything like that. If you're doing wild camping yourself, clean up after yourself. That's the #1 rule that I've seen. I've got my breakfast made. I've just stuck the other wrap in a bag. There's a sheep, like 20 metres over there, just at the end of the path. 2 of them, I think. There's the sheep. I won't look up. Oh, there it looks. Look at that thing. Right, it's running away now. Rubbish. So right along the ridge there, you can see the mist just below the cloud line. It looks amazing, looks stunning. I think the camera looks great, like the image that it's putting out, but I'm not sure it does it justice. Even over this way. I really did love the lonely, quiet moments I had while watching the landscape. It was really peaceful. So I'm honestly not sure how long the hike down is going to take me. I've just estimated that getting ready at 9:45 would be best. It's 9:30 now, so I'm just going to start getting the tent packed away, and then I'll get the bags packed and head off. So that's the tent packed away. I had a real struggle with that little guy down there, the sleeping mat. It was absolute torture to put away. I cannot describe it. But I'm sitting at 10:30, so that actually took me quite a while to do the tent. I'm going to get my bags packed and then head off. So I've got the bag packed, as you can see, and I've got my quick door there, I've got my wee spade and my monopod that I'm going to use as my walking stick, and we're off. So now we can say bye to Errol's seat. I'll be back another day for sure. It's just beautiful up here. So I wanted to take a break. There's Ben Lomond in the background. One of the really neat bits of kit that I've got is my tripod. Now, it's a great tripod. It's a Nat Geo travel tripod, and it does the job amazingly, but it's so efficient because you can turn it into a monopod as well. So if you need a monopod for whatever reason, you can use it as that, but it's strong enough that you can use it as a walking pole as well. I found that amazingly helpful in this trip. It's just been a massive weight off my shoulders because not all of the weight's on my legs and back. I can balance it on my legs and the walking pole. Great bit of kit. So the whole trek and all from Dumgoyne all the way over to Errol's Seat is 10.6k. The way that I chose to get there was a bit questionable. I went through the boggiest part of the valley over there, but on the way back it's so scenic, and having the kit that I do, it's really heavy. It's unnecessarily heavy, but it's manageable for someone of my size and fitness level. I've found it really enjoyable. There's Errol's Seat all the way up there, and you see the path running directly towards the camera. That was the path I decided to go up instead of this one that I'm on now. That path curves over this ridge and it goes down through the boggy valley, and it was not good. Heading off. Just gonna stop up for a little minute and grab some food out because I'm quite hungry. The bag that I've got is massively helpful. Again, I think I'm quite overpacked for this trip, but that's just because of the tent, and generally can't make that any smaller. I did separate the poles from the actual inner and outer of the tent, but I didn't make it much smaller, so the Highlander bag's great. On top of that, I brought a Muddy Fox water bladder holder, just a running bag. That was supposed to go on my chest, but it's just too heavy. It's more or less the shoulders rub too much. I've got a life straw as well that I've not used. I brought enough water thankfully, but I could have used it if I needed it. Having a kiwi and some banana chips. So that's us at the base of Dumgoyne. It's really big when you're up close, and the valleys around. If you've watched this far, thanks for joining me on my first solo wild camp. I'll see you next time.